Chapter 70 Instigation. It was obvious that sect leader Ma sensed the pair's animosity. Not only was he not worried, his face revealed a hint of a cheerful look. Even though young Dr. Han is of a young age, his medicinal skills can be said to have reached perfection. I believe that under Dr. Han's care, Elder Li can rise from the brink of death, he suddenly said, praising Han Li's medicinal abilities. Really? With him being so young, is his medicinal expertise that exceptional? Well, I don't really believe you. Don't tell me that his medicinal knowledge is even better than Dr. Mo's medicinal knowledge. After hearing these words, a few family members became at a loss, unsure of what to do. They didn't want to place Elder Li's fate in Han Li's hands, nor did they even hope that this little medicinal god could cure the poison and save his life. To open their mouths to refute Elder Zhao's words also did not seem appropriate. The party in question was Elder Li's friend and also an elder in the Seven Mysteries sect. Elder Zhao is not aware that little Dr. Han is Dr. Mo's proud disciple, and his medicinal expertise already far surpasses that of Dr. Mo. Vice sect leader secretly smirked, adding firewood to the fire. Even if this little boy of about years of age started learning when he was still in his mother's womb, how exceptional can his medicinal expertise be? I still won't believe you unless I personally see it with my own eyes, said Elder Zhao, shaking his head like a palm leaf fan. He was still unwilling to directly criticize Han Li and thus fall under Vice sect leader's trap by offending someone whom he shouldn't have offended. Elder Zhao might have seemed like a rude and impetuous individual, but regardless of his attitude, he was not a fool who would rashly insult another member of the sect without confirming the identity of the person he was judging. After all, he had been able to hold the high status of an elder and maintain this position. In response, Han Li rolled his eyes, thinking to himself, why do I need to prove to you whether my medical skills are good enough? He knew that sect leader Ma intentionally drew out this response, but Han Li still felt a bit depressed. It was very apparent that this Elder Zhao and sect leader Ma were not of the same faction and even had a bit of a hostile relationship. The mixed circular palm that Elder Zhao practices and has been trained to perfection. Its might is boundless. Sect leader Ma said. Seeing Han Li look displeased with Elder Zhao, sect leader Ma felt the joy within his heart become even stronger, making him uncontrollably cry out random and strange phrases. Hang! How can it compare to sect leader Ma's highly polished Mysteriousian finger? It seemed that Elder Zhao did not care for the other's identity as a vice sect master. Deadpanned and with no traces of politeness, vice sect master Ma retaliated with a phrase of his own. Ha! Elder Zhao has wrongly praised me. It was evident that sect leader Ma a type of person who hid knives within their smiles. He did not really mind Elder Zhao's sarcastic tone, smiling as he calmly received the other's false compliment. This was not the first time Elder Zhao had faced this type of situation, nor could he do anything about it. He could only shut his mouth, unwilling to nag with his thick-skinned opponent. He inwardly felt that there was something he couldn't wrap his mind around concerning the other's words. Even though sect leader Ma was not in the same faction as Elder Zhao, this was the first time they had revealed the conflicts of the upper echelons in front of so many juniors. It was unknown whether there were any tricks involved. As he listened to the two opposing parties exchanging harsh words, Han Li's expression did not change in the least as he pretended to be ignorant and unknowing of everything. But within his heart, he knew that sect leader Ma was once again trying to instigate a rift in the relationship between Han Li and Elder Zhao. Sect leader Ma had been indirectly attacking his opponents with words ever since he met Han Li, trying to rope this highly skilled medicinal god into his faction, thus expanding his influence. However, Han Li had never even considered joining the Seven Mysteries sect's internal struggle for power. It was not because he was intentionally aloof from political and material pursuits or that he was arrogant, but because ever since he came into contact with Dr. Mo, Yu Jitong and similar people of high status, his aspirations were a lot higher, especially since he learned two different types of spells. He already viewed the Seven Mysteries sect's internal struggle with minimal importance. Although Han Li was not weak, he did not want to offend those of a higher status. It was for this reason that he chose to avoid giving a clear reply, neither accepting nor declining the invitations from the upper echelon. Just like that, it was sect leader Ma's turn to have endless headaches. Even though Han Li's profound medicinal skills made it so that he could act stubbornly, Han Li was dragging out his response for too long of a period, making sect leader Ma extremely frustrated. To this day, Han Li had still refused to join his faction, nor had he given a direct answer. But in order to prevent Han Li from entering other factions, sect leader Ma had to do his best to ruin the relationship between Han Li and the other upper echelon members, inciting disharmony. Whether these childish tactics were effective or not, Han Li did not know, but up until today it was the first time that an upper-level faction had annoyed him greatly. Right now, sect leader Ma was doing his best to undermine Han Li's opinion of Elder Zhao, presumably wanting him to have no good memories of this elder. Ma Rong, noticing the start of a Sikh fight, felt a bit of panic within his heart and hurriedly continued his introductions. "This is my master's wife, Li Shi." He began by pointing at a middle-aged woman who had some resemblance to the young lady. This is. The young lady by Li Feiyu's side was introduced last. Her name was Zhang Shuer. Unexpectedly, she was Elder Li's niece. When he introduced Li Feiyu, the other intentionally pretended to not recognize Han Li, revealing a cool, unapproachable appearance. This made Ma Rong, who had initiated the introductions himself, feel awkward. He hurriedly whispered an explanation to Han Li, saying, "Protector Li has always been like this. This is his normal temperament and is not specifically directed at you, Dr. Han, so please do not take this personally." Han Li smiled slightly, knowing that Li Feiyu did not want to reveal their relationship in front of so many people. "His demeanor means nothing to me. I would not lower myself by begging for attention from other people. Right now, it is better to look at Elder Li's condition than to waste time by arguing. Saving lives is more important." Han Li intentionally made a dismissive comment toward Li Feiyu. Ma Rong, upon hearing this, put his heart at ease and invited everybody into the bedroom of the sick patient. After hearing Han Li's statement, Li Feiyu's lips twitched a bit, appearing nonchalant. When everyone turned their bodies, he suddenly made a funny face towards Han Li's direction, then quickly returned to his normal appearance, making it seem as if nothing had happened. Han Li strongly resisted his urge to smile. Soon after, he closely followed senior disciple Li's footsteps, coming up to the front of Elder Li's bed. Upon seeing the facial features of the person on the bed, the normally bold Han Li couldn't help but suck in a cold breath. Now he finally understood why the other doctors were not willing to prescribe medicine. Right now, the originally benign-faced senior Elder Li remained unconscious, but there were spots of poison, the size of copper coins, extending from his face to his neck region and from his hands to his legs. Each spot of poison appeared to be different from the others because they varied in a plethora of abnormally bright colors. Everyone who saw them became visibly apprehensive. What was even more problematic for Han Li was that Elder Li's lips were greenish-black and his facial features were enshrouded in a layer of dark air. This meant that the poison was in its late stages, thus making the complex task of saving Elder Li's small life more difficult.